It's your man, Chris Godrock.
What's up, my family? It's Maliki and Sweet Senorita.
It's your boy, Dirty Germa. This is All Mills from the Critics. I just finished my interview at C.O.O.L Radio, and I'm just letting you guys know that you guys need to tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. because this place is wild.
Of course! Don't touch that dial.
You miss your diss, you understand? Keep it locked.
Drive.
Yes, yo. Welcome back to the show. You're now tuned to CFRE Radio 91.9 FM. It's your man, DM Cool. And I would like to wish y'all a very happy Halloween Eve. But for right now, you guys are tuned into the one and only C.O.O.L Radio. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
That's right. Your ass better call somebody because once again, we are live on the airwaves of CFRE 91.9 FM, live from UTM. You already know how we do over here. Saga City represents stand up. And like I said before, it is Halloween Eve. Halloween pops off tomorrow, as we all know, October 31st. I see some people in the student center all dressed up and everything, which leads me to my next segment. The segment that you guys all like for me to get y'all warmed up and everything. I like to call this one, Let That Ish Breathe.
Let this bitch breathe!
Yes, so we already know that Halloween is a fun time, that you get to dress up. You know, you take the kids trick-or-treating. Sometimes you shove out candy if you don't really feel like doing anything. And then, of course, for the adults, you know, that's where, like, the real fun happens. You go to the clubs, you dress up, you know, you do your thing, all that good stuff. However, we always notice that when it comes to the costumes sometimes, it can get a little bit overboard. Like, some costumes are cool, but the other costumes are just like, yo, like, you're brave for wearing that. Like, and then there are just other costumes where it's like, yo, you have no dignity as a human being. Case in point, there is a costume right now going around, and it is a costume of football player Ray Rice, all right? Now, for those of you who don't know who Ray Rice is, he is the NFL superstar who basically knocked his wife out in the elevator and pretty much just kind of like tried to attempt to drag her body out of the elevator as they were coming down. Now, there are a lot of people on the internet who are dressing up as Ray Rice, you know, with the Ravens uniform on and basically putting the face paint on and stuff like that. But then they also have like a blow-up doll or just a doll in general, and they're dragging it around, and they draw the black guy on the doll as well. There are some couples who are having the man dress up as Ray Rice and then the wife dressing up as the girl who got beat with the black guy around her eye. There was even one picture I saw where it was a mother who was dressed up as Ray Rice, and it was her kids dressed up as the wife who got beat with the black guy around. Now, I'm all for humor and good fun and all that stuff, but at the same time, it's like there has to be a line to be drawn. You know what I mean? It's almost like playing double dutch. You're not going to jump into the hoops when the ropes are spinning too fast. No, you're going to wait, take your time, and then jump in. You don't just jump in cold turkey. So I feel like people need to, like, draw a line somewhere. And I know you can do anything you want at Halloween or whatever, and people want to be as creative and original as possible, and I get that. That's cool. But there's got to be some sort of decency, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be dressing up as, like, Trayvon Martin with your hoodie and Skittles and iced tea and everything. You can't be dressed up as Mike Brown with gunshots in his head and stuff like that. And you certainly can't dress up as Ray Rice with your wife dressing up as Janae Rice with the black guy around her eye and everything. I feel like there's levels to this, all right? Real talk, there are levels to this. Dress up as a ghost, dress up as a vampire, dress up as Michelangelo, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for all you want. But, like, I think it's necessary to keep certain things away from Halloween. Like, yes, the shock value is there, the originality factor, sure, but some things can be done very distastefully, I find, and that's all I got to say about that matter. Now, coming up around the 8:15 mark, we have Mississauga's own Jordan Ray. He's going to be talking about his music and all that good stuff. But first, we got to get to some Canadian content as usual, and this joint right here comes by way of my man Audric Rose, who just dropped his 25 EP not too long ago. This one features Toonie, and it's called Just Me and Mine, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show, y'all. You're now tuned into CFRE 91.9 101.9 FM. It's your man, DM Cool. And you're now tuned into Cool Radio. Welcome back to the show, people. As promised, I have a guest today who is hailing from the 905 Saga City. You already know we got to represent for our own. And he's been making music for a while, and he's about to make a big splash in a major way. His social media numbers are up, so he can go nowhere but up. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about my man, Jordan Ray. Jordan, what's good?
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for coming through. I know you're a busy dude, so most definitely I got to get you up in the studio, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. Now, I was reading your bio, you know, me being the journalist that I am, and you, before you were known as Jordan Ray, you were known as Concept. So what was the concept behind Concept?
Honestly, at the time, I just wanted to think of, like, just a cool rap name, right? Mm-hmm. And my whole idea with it was, I'm going to be the artist that has a sick idea behind every song, sick idea behind every album I do, and a sick concept, you know what I mean? So concept came from there, and then I threw the K in it. I was young, right? I was like, maybe like 15?
Yeah.
15, 16. So I was like, I threw the K in there just to make it hip-hop. And I went from there. I eventually changed to Jordan Ray after I found there's like 10 other concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah, concept Can't Stick With Me Too Long. There was like a concept that did a track with like Royce to 5'9".
Okay.
So once I heard that, I was like, okay, I got to switch it up. I can't be what someone else is, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what was the transition like between Concept to Jordan Ray?
It was hard, man. Like I had my old YouTube channel, which had like 3,000 subscribers, and I had to pretty much scrap all my old social media and everything like that, because with like YouTube, for example, you can't change your username or anything like that, right? So I just scrapped everything, and yeah, from there I had to do like a whole rebranding. I changed myself to Jordan Ray, which is just my first name and my middle name. And yeah, from there on I did photo shoots. I put out my last album, and now we're working on something new right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how has the rebranding process been like? Because a lot of artists do a lot of rebranding, retooling, so they can reach out to a new demographic or try to revive their career, kind of like how 2 Chainz was Titty Boy at one point in time, right, with DTP.
Yeah.
So how has that process been like for you?
With me, it had to do with a lot with social media. I'm in marketing anyway, right? For I go to Sheridan, so.
Hey, Sheridan alum. Okay, you already know that's where I stay at.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me it was a lot of social media, so I had to take out all my old social media channels, put all my new ones up, and I did new photo shoots, new branding, took out all my old pictures off the internet, and in a way that's kind of what we're doing right now. With my stuff I just put out a year ago, because I want to I like starting fresh. If I evolve as an artist by a lot, then I like starting fresh and just scrapping out whatever was on the internet before.
Absolutely. So it's almost like a destroy and rebuild kind of process.
Literally until I get it the way I want it to.
Exactly.
And I think that's what I got right now.
All right. Now, before you started rapping, you actually play instruments at a young age.
Yeah.
So did that help you kind of brand yourself more as a musician, like round yourself more as a musician, or
man,
like a complete musician?
I came from a family where you had to learn an instrument. Like on my dad's side, everyone had to learn an instrument. It's like the law in the family, right?
Yeah.
And so my dad tried to get me guitar. I wasn't getting into it. Tried to get me into piano. Wasn't getting into it. And then at around 10, I started playing the drums. I got into it. I played for about. I still play a little bit, but I played maybe till about 16, like seriously. And from then, I think it's the drums that actually got me into hip hop, because I was able to keep on track with a beat, keep a flow, and things like that.
Exactly.
So it translated really well for me.
Exactly. And the basics when it comes to hip hop is like a kick drum, right?
Yeah.
At the very least. So no, I can see you definitely making that connection, most definitely. So also, you know, on top of being a musician as well too, you actually engineer your own work as well too. So what is that process like? Because I tend to find that there's a lot of artists now more than ever who are artists/engineers.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be in control of your own work?
It's nicer. Like for some of my projects, I actually end up just outsourcing it, just because I rather focus on the music sometimes. Like for some of my album work, I get so into just the writing process that I want to give other people the engineering. But when I do engineer myself, it's nice because I have control over everything. I can get it the way I want it to sound.
Exactly.
I don't have to deal with sending emails back and forth to having 10 different versions of the song on the internet.
Yeah.
Like over email, and I can just do the way I want. And then I also started do engineering for other artists as well.
Yeah. Now there's like one criticism that I constantly hear when it comes to like artists / engineers is that, you know, with someone like a J. Cole or a Big Crit, for example, when they do their own project, it's almost as if they want to handle everything themselves.
Yeah.
And rather than, you know, let someone else take the reins, you know, just a little bit here and there. So do you often find yourself having that almost
like the jack of all trades kind of thing?
Exactly. Yeah. Or somewhat of like an inner conundrum? Do you kind of feel like you're kind of swept in that a little bit?
I do like having control of a lot of the things I do. I know that I can't always have it that way, especially when things get bigger, because you got people to work with at that point, right? But for now, for production, I go to other producers. Sometimes I produce my own stuff. For mixing, I go to other engineers. Sometimes I engineer my own stuff, and then I kind of I mix and match it.
Yeah. Now, how would you describe your own sound if you were to give somewhat of an explanation to someone who has ever heard your music before?
Right now, with what I'm putting out soon in next spring, it's gonna be a pretty dark sound. Okay, I would say. Okay. It's gonna be dark, ambient, and it's kind of like it's the whole project I'm working on is pretty much a reflection. Yeah. Right. And it's trying to get from one place to another in the most positive way I can.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I read on your bio that I found interesting was that you are the son of immigrant parents, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's basically the story of a lot of Canadians growing up, you know, a lot of first-generation Canadians. And I feel like that's probably the one thing, in my opinion, that could separate Canadian rappers from other parts of the world. So in your opinion, do you feel like a lot more Canadian rappers should talk about the immigrant struggle, so to speak, and like what it's like to be a first generation Canadian, or how it was like for their parents to come here to like scrape and grind to get to Canada?
I did have a record like about a year ago where I kind of talked about that, and a lot of people enjoyed it. But yeah, I feel like when you do talk about that stuff, it kind of gets it out there. It gets people understanding your story. Like I know for me, I moved here when I was 7, and I turned 8 literally the next day. Yeah, probably like the loneliest birthday I ever had in my life.
I can imagine.
Right. But yeah, I eventually got through it, met new people, got introduced to hip hop. Like the first hip hop song I ever heard was White America by Eminem. That was when I was like 9 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of what I got into hip hop, just off that. And it was just while I was in school with some of my friends, right?
Exactly. So in terms of like hip hop, like what sound did you kind of gravitate towards when you first listened to it?
When I first listened, I was a huge Eminem fan when I was younger.
And we're gonna get into that later, by the way.
Yeah. But like, yeah, that kind of sound like that 03 Eminem 50 kind of thing when they were like kind of on top.
Yeah, when Interscope was just like a giant.
yeah. That's when that was like when I first got into hip hop, and kind of got out of it a little bit here and there in like 07, and then I got back into it. Yeah, just because I was exploring different avenues of music, right?
Exactly. And one thing that I noticed with like a lot of artists, and I think you can speak on this as well. A lot of artists coming out like after 2007, 2008, roughly, are very diverse in their musical taste. Yeah. And implementing that into their brand of hip hop. So how important is that to you? That artists do that to further expand the culture?
I think it's really important. Like the type of music I listen to is mainly hip hop at the moment, but I still have like I'll have Linkin Park on my phone. I'll have like Limp Bizkit on my phone. Yeah. I'll have like The Weeknd, Jhené Aiko, things like that. And because I like that R&B taste too, right?
Exactly. So gotta have some melodies in there.
Yeah. I kind of implement that in especially the new music I'm working on. Yeah. It's like a mix of like hip hop and R&B. More hip hop more so than R&B, but the R&B is there.
Exactly. And hip hop and R&B has been like a main staple since like the late 80s, early 90s as well too. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. But we're gonna get to more of your music later on in the show.
All right, cool.
But before we do that, we gotta get into some games because you know around here at C.O.O.L Radio, I don't know if you know, but we like to play some games around here. We like to have fun with the guests, see what kind of personality they're working with, and all that good stuff. All right. Okay. So the first game I got for you is called the Jordan Ray Show. All right. Now, remember how I said to you we're going to talk about your little Eminem craze a little bit later on? Welcome to later on, all right? So, in your own words, You have to tell me 3 songs that you like from the Eminem show, and then you have to tell me why you like those 3 songs.
Okay.
So if you don't remember all of them, I have them on my display over here, and I'll throw out a couple names here and there if you get stuck. But if you already know which 3 songs you got in mind, please, by all means.
Okay. I'd say first one was White America.
Okay.
Just because that was like the first hip hop song I ever heard, and it's what got me into everything, right?
Okay, fair enough.
Soldier.
Okay.
That's just the aggressiveness in it, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was just like bars after bars after bars. Like the second verse I remember was just crazy.
Yeah.
Third one tough. Till I Collapse.
Okay, nice, very nice.
And that was just like a come up kind of song, like starting at the bottom, trying to get better. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So there's more that I like, but
trust me, that was a huge album.
That was a crazy album. Yeah.
I'll say this for me personally, I was never really a huge fan of Eminem growing up because I felt like the people that I was hanging around with, mind you, I was in elementary school when Eminem first came out. And the people that I was hanging out with in elementary school, they never listened to rap. Yeah. They never did. They're all into like their punk rock or whatever the case was, which is cool.
Yeah.
But then the minute he came out, he's like, oh my God, Eminem's the best rapper. He's the best rapper. I'm like, what? I'm sorry. You like rap now?
Yeah.
Name me 5 other rappers. That's what I thought.
That's the one thing I don't like about Eminem fans, and I was like this myself.
Yeah.
Where like the only artist you would listen to, you say you're a hip hop fan, but like the only artist you would listen to is Eminem.
Exactly.
And I was like that. I'm not saying I wasn't like that. Like there were days where I had just Eminem on my phone and like a couple of 50 songs. Yeah. But I diversified eventually. But I can see how it's annoying now because I was in that position too. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And it wasn't until the Eminem show came out because I think that simultaneously came out with 8 Mile. Yeah, so it was just listening to that album and watching 8 Mile. I'm like, okay, you know what? Eminem's here. He's serious. Yeah. And that made me go back into his catalog. Like I always had the Blueprint album from Jay-Z, but for whatever reason, I never listened to Renegade with him and Eminem, even though it was the only feature. And so when I started to develop an appreciation for Eminem, I went back. I was like, yo, Eminem I think he killed Jay-Z on the shit. I think he did. Mind you, Eminem kind of had home court advantage because that was his beat that he did with Royce da 5'9" a couple years prior to that. But nonetheless, he got busy on there, right? Like he gave Jay-Z a run for his money. So that was one of the things that brought me to Eminem.
There are certain songs that I listen to that when I listen to them, I get shivers.
Yeah.
I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
And for me, if I get tingles or goosebumps or shivers up my spine, that's when I know I like you. It's like, ooh.
Like every time
I gotta keep my eyes on you.
I hear that verse and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, he went out. He got busy on that. He got busy. But speaking of getting busy, man, you're gonna be talking about getting busy with a couple of female interests I have in mind for you. Okay. And with that being said, this is the second game of our show, which I like to call I Quit the Game. He knows already. Whoa. I feel nice already. I haven't even played the drop yet, and they're already doing it. Listen, we got to play that drop right now.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it.
Yo, this guy already knows the drop. Okay. I'm kind of feeling nice right now. Ooh, we got some fans in the building. Shout out to Jordan Ray's entourage right now, okay? So, here's how the game works, all right? You are the eligible bachelor. You're living the player's life. You're wheeling, dealing, limousine stealing, kiss stealing, limousine riding, jet flying, all that good stuff, all right? But, as you already know, as a fellow man, there comes a point in time in every man's life where he's got to quit the game, man. He's got to hand in that player's card, rip off the black. Not anytime soon. Mind you, we're talking about in an alternate universe where you may have to do that. Yeah, most definitely. So you gotta drive up in your nice Mercedes to the driveway with your white picket fence and the tire swing with the apple pie cooling on the windowsill and all that. Exactly. So with that being said, if you had to quit the game for one of these two ladies, who would you quit the game for? And I have them in my phone right now. Would you quit the game for Scarlett Johansson or Zoe Saldana?
Scarlett.
Oh, wow, that was quick. Man, wasting no time. Scarlett.
Done.
He had it in his head before I even mentioned the next thing.
I was like, you said Scarlett, it's over. Done.
Not even Scarlett. He's like, the minute I said, he already, Scarlett, it's done. It's done. Now, why Scarlett?
Man, she's so fine.
I'm not gonna lie.
God.
I never really had a thing for redheads until I seen the Avengers when she was in the Avengers.
She has that look in her eyes.
She does
She
still.
has that. I don't know what it is.
She does. She looks like she can kick a man's ass, and it's the kind of thing where it's like she can kick a man's ass, but it kind of turns me on rather than like frightens me. Like remember like China back in like WWE when she kicked the man's ass, like you don't want to mess with her. It's like yo, you back up.
She's like jacked as hell.
Exactly, yeah. But when we see Scarlett Johansson kicking ass in the Avengers or whatever Marvel movie she was in, it's like yo,
you can kick my ass anything,
right? Like she can go on still. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Jordan Ray in the building, and before we get to the commercial break, we have one of your joints that we're about to play right now. This one is called Madhouse Monster. So Madhouse Master, excusez-moi. So can you get into that track right now and tell us what it's about?
Well, actually, yeah, it's just called Madhouse Flat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much a track where I come from like a darker place and I'm venturing into different avenues. It's just this, pretty much I'm at like a crazy house party kind of thing, right?
Gotcha.
And I'm venturing different avenues. There's all sorts of shit going down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all a reflection. It's about whether I conform to everything or whether I go do my own thing. And then if you listen to the song, you'll kind of figure out what I do.
Quite introspective. It has that contrast between a trap beat, but what you're talking about is actually
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what? Oh, please go on. Go on.
Like, it's if you think of kind of like the Art of Peer Pressure kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
I love that record off of Kendrick's album, man. Everybody.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough about...
That's kind of what it is.
Exactly. Enough about me talking. Let's get to playing. This is Madhouse, and we'll be right back after these messages here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. You're not tuned to CFRE 91.9 FM. It's your man, DM Cool. And you're now tuned into Cool Radio. We got my man Jordan Ray in the building. And on the mic, we got his manager who's going to speak on some stuff. Matter of fact, Mr. Manager, please introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, that's Zane Hashmi.
Oh, you got to get closer to the mic, my man. They got to hear your beautiful English accent, man.
Yeah, Zane, straight from South London. Shout out to South London. I know you're not listening, but you got to do it anyway, don't you?
Trust me, I'm going to make sure my England people are listening, man. I got family in England.
Make sure
I got my sister in Liverpool. I got my cousin in London. Trust me, they be listening,
That's blessed.
Exactly. Anyways, so we are going to get into Trip Talk. You already know what it is, man. 3 topics to 3 minutes. We might extend it depending on, what kind of juicy stuff we get into. But let's warm things up a little bit with some Aftermath alumni. I'm talking about Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine, all right? Now, they made headlines this week basically stating that they have now opened a new college in California. They donated about $70 million to the University of South California, and they have developed their own school called the Jimmy Iovine and Andre Young Academy for Arts, Technology, and Business of Innovation. So basically, they're going to be talking about art, industry, entrepreneurship, etc. So
it's not just music. It's just
not just music,
okay.
but I think music would be like the foundation, or just art in general. So what's your guys' opinion on that? Jordan, I'll start with you.
That's crazy. That's something I don't think I've seen. Well, someone as big as Jimmy and Dre do something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would encourage like a lot of people who have that passion to do something in the artistic field to go to a school.
Explore.
Yeah, go to a school that's that started up by their idols, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think it's a good move. Right? We got to see how it plays out, right?
Yeah.
Depending on.
And also, you got to see what that's essentially hip hop. That's what hip hop has done.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dre's style.
That's the evolution of hip hop right there.
Mm-hmm. And many would regard as hip hop not giving back to the community,
yeah.
And sort of damaging it, but it's not. And if you look at something like this, it's a perfect example of how it can enhance a society, which is wonderful.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. I mean, you talk about hip-hop being one of the leading genres of music, also one of the youngest, but there's an impact to be made. Like, when it comes to pop culture, so many elements of hip-hop are being implemented into pop culture. Look at for shizzle. You know what I'm saying? Like, something as little as a euphemism like that invades the mainstream. Look at, I don't even want to use this as an example, as a bad example, but look at twerking as well, too. That's been around for years, but the minute it gets appropriated into mainstream culture, then everyone's talking about
everyone's
it, right?
Still doing it.
Exactly. There you go. Even Miley Cyrus with her non-ass having herself looking like an ironing board.
She's the one that started it all. I don't know how she started it all.
Exactly, right? You would have figured it would have been like Beyonce or something like that, but she's the one that kind of made it a craze. But, hey, it is what it is, right? I mean, hip-hop is moving mountains, and this is a huge example of that. So I'm proud of Dr. Dre for, making that an innovation of sorts.
Yeah.
So
Props.
Moving on from that now, on to the next topic. Kendrick Lamar is set to perform his new single "I" at the NBA on TNT special for the opening night of the Cavs versus New York Knicks. So when you see something like that, you know, like Kendrick or any artist in hip hop in general making that type of a business power move such as that, you know, what does that say about
Who is he performing for?
He's performing for TNT, so they broadcast all the NBA games and stuff like that. Okay. So when you see something like that, how much more credence does that give to the notion that hip hop is like a big mainstream commodity, like we were just talking about just now?
That puts hip hop on like a huge pedestal too, because a lot of people. It's the Cavs and the Knicks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people are watching that game.
Yeah, it's like LeBron James coming back home.
Huge Knick fan base too.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
Though they're not that nice right now, but
they suck, man. Carmelo Anthony is the most overrated player in the NBA. There, I said it. Continue.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what Jordan said. But can I ask you, what do you think about the I record?
I like it. I like the record. I'll say this. I wasn't expecting...
I was expecting something harder.
I was too. But a lot of people were saying the same thing when Swimming Pools came out. They didn't know what Swimming Pools was really about. They thought it was just a song about partying and drinking. But then they listened to the context of it and it's like... And they realize that, oh, this guy's battling alcohol addictions. Yeah. So I think it's one of those songs that you have to let it marinate, and then you'll get the message. Yeah. And not only that, but I feel like it's one of those songs where you have to listen to it in the body of the album so that it'll make more sense.
I feel like right now as a single, it's one of those like just driving around kind of songs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and the concept is there.
Mm-hmm.
I think in comparison to Swimming Pools came out a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it had that
it had a grimy,
beat.
Yeah, just a soundscape.
This is more of like a poppy kind of feel to it. Like,
they compared it to Outkast's Hey
Ya
and stuff, and I didn't know how to exactly feel about that. Or like, you know, Outkast is dope, but I also compared it to Pharrell. Happy, and I was just I found it rather
we were talking about it, and we think like Kendrick's kind of like throwing everyone off just by putting this out and being like, oh, he's going for a different sound, but then on his album he's just gonna go hard as hell.
And it sounds like a summer record.
Yeah,
like he's dropped it like near fall now. Like he dropped it like
fourth quarter.
Ago.
Yeah,
so
it was about a month ago, rather. I think. Yeah.
So I just thought it was an interesting placement to put that kind of record, and I'm really interested to see where he goes from it. There's been rumors of the next track, and apparently Pharrell says that it's like very dark.
Yeah, it's supposed to be called King Kunta or something like that. That's what I heard earlier today too.
Sounds dark.
That's what I heard too. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I like the song. I never heard those comparisons with Hey Ya or even Happy. I think maybe it's because of the guitar riff, but a lot of people don't know that song was sampled from Isley Brothers. There you go. And it was sampled off of a Love record too, so you can even you can flip samples in many different ways as well. So I feel like people shouldn't really just throw it in that box just because it's a guitar riff that was used as a sample. Give it more time, and I feel like I don't think it has a soft poppy record. I feel like it has more of like a the revolution will be televised type of feel to it. You know, it sounds very anthemic in that sense. So
Gil Scott-Heron.
There you go.
I completely understand what you're talking about.
This man was reading my mind right now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, what did the hook though? Did you like the hook? Because the hook was another issue that people had with it. You know.
Well, with the inflection of his voice, or just
and the concept like I love myself, like repeated.
But you know what? That's the whole conception of a hook. Like the whole thing about a hook is that it's supposed to hook you, it's supposed to draw you in, and that's the part of the song. That's the most crucial part of the song, because if people don't know the hook, then they're not going to know the lyrics of the song. It's what the hook does. It pulls you in so that you will know the lyrics of the song later on as you go along.
You learn the hook first, and then you learn the
exactly. And the hook is supposed to be simple regardless anyway. So I feel like it's just people nitpicking because we haven't heard something from Kendrick in so long that people are just doing this, and this, right?
Yeah, no, and that's a great point you put up, because the last blast that we heard from Kendrick was on the Control verse.
Yeah, exactly. And that wasn't even his song. That was just a verse.
That was just a verse, exactly. And like in that verse, he was talking about killing rappers.
Exactly. That was the last image we got of him.
That was the last image. So it was weird to see that, you know, from that Control verse all the way to I. You know, you were expecting maybe a bit more of a push on how to kill these rappers. And you know, the J-Rock verse that he put out.
Yes,
that's why I feel like
that verse I haven't heard yet. Actually, I haven't heard that one yet.
So it's subliminally like aimed at Drake.
Ooh,
you can check that out.
Oh, is it?
It's,
goody.
That, like his whole verse practically.
Is that where you're? Okay.
That whole verse practically is aimed at Drake. But it's interesting because I thought that their quarrels were over. We were at OVO Fest and Drake
was
out.
like, oh no, we were at OVO Fest and it was him, J. Cole, and then he's like, Kendrick's not here right now, but Kendrick's like
a young king.
Yeah.
This is rap. It's never over. It's never over. Hip hop is a competitive sport at heart.
It makes it interesting.
I like it better in this way though, because like beefs aren't like like people have to die anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like back in like 04 or like even earlier than that.
Earlier than that,
people,
I would say.
Yeah, people would. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, people took it too seriously.
Yeah, and then people ended up dying and getting really hurt.
These
Exactly.
rappers aren't harsh enough, you know.
Yeah.
YouTube commenters are more harsher than.
Oh yeah,
rappers
right,
these days, yeah.
right. And speaking of Drake, which leads us to our final story of Trip
boy.
Talk. So basically, him and Tyga have been having a war of words as of late.
yeah.
There was even video footage of Drake rushing into a DC nightclub the night of his birthday. A lot of people were speculating as to what was happening. People were saying that that someone from Tyga's entourage was messing with Future the Prince, which is his DJ.
Is that what it was?
And then that's what it was allegedly.
Oh, okay.
And then also Birdman was on Hot 97 earlier in the week as well too, discussing the matters between Tyga and Drake, and he was basically saying to Tyga, it's like you're either with us or you're not with us. You know, this is a family right here. So what's your take on the entire situation as a whole, Jordan?
I think Tyga slipped. Like
Big time.
He had that. Who did he have that interview with? Vibe? Was it Vibe?
I think it was Vibe.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Vibe.
Yeah, I think so. And they asked like, I think it was like, what's your opinion on Drake? And he just like, he could have just like held back a little, but he just went.
He went
all
in.
out. He's just like, I don't like Drake. We were forced together. He's not I don't like his personality or like some crazy shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he messed up.
Yeah.
You can't when Drake's up here and Tyga's just down here.
Exactly. It makes you look petty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't take shots at someone. I get it from a aspect of like trying to call out someone bigger than you.
Yeah.
But he does not have the talent to.
Yeah,
call out
nowhere
someone like that.
near.
Yeah.
Rack City bitch does not get it.
Yeah.
Does not make
The
him
lyricism
elevated
is
at
not
all.
there. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
No,
man.
the resumes can't compete, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
hear the song "Make It Work." Tyga dropped a record called "Make It Work," and he was kind of clowning on Drake's flow and kind of shouting out subliminals as he would.
Really?
That came out a couple days ago. So that's why like Birdman came up, and I really respect Birdman because he comes out more humble than a lot, hunts of
Trying to keep the peace.
Oh yeah, trying to keep the peace, right? And he's like, this is like a family.
Well, they're
Yeah.
technically
Right?
still all under the same label.
They're
All
still
Young Money
technically on the
right?
same label, so
Yeah,
they're
they
family,
are.
so you're whether in or you're out. So I'm interested as to where Tyga's gonna take it to this,
But you know what? Tyga should have known this from the jump as soon as he signed with Cash Money, because anyone who's ever been on Cash Money has never been happy on that label. You're talking about Juvenile, BG, Manny Fresh, who was basically the architect behind Cash Money.
Yeah.
If he is not happy, then something is wrong. I always tell people, Cash Money and Bad Boy are the two labels that you do not want to join as an artist. No matter where you are in your career, beware of those things. Just silver bullet to them, both of them. Honestly. But yeah, man, I mean, Tyga, I appreciate the honesty as far as him saying that him and Drake are just on like different levels. They're on a
kept it
different
real,
page.
but he just-
But I feel like he should just kept it at a minimum.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it.
Should have,
And even Drake's camp, OVO camp, they shouldn't have even mentioned it. Just don't mention it at all, because now it's turning to this thing
It
where
turns into a beef when you mention it. When
Exactly.
you don't mention it, it's like whatever, like you're not worth my time kind of thing.
Exactly. I mean, this is like Michael Jordan beefing with like Lance Stevenson or something like that. Just on different levels altogether, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, we got to move on from that now. We can talk about so much more, but we have a tight schedule to abide by. And with that being said, I want to throw back to some old school stuff. So with that being said, I think it's time to drop that Throwback Thursday track of the day right now real quick. That's right, people. Give me a suggestion of what you want to hear on Throwback Thursdays on Cool Radio. Now, we're going to go with the Halloween theme because Halloween is tomorrow, of course, and we have people dressing up tonight. We have people dressing up tomorrow. We have people dressing up on Saturday even because it's Halloween weekend. Let's just call it for what it is. And I'm thinking about all the good tracks that came out throughout the years, with videos that accompany them that had sort of a Halloween theme to them. I was going to play some Wu-Tang tonight, but I was playing that for the last couple of weeks. I didn't want to do some overkill, but I found the perfect track to play for tonight's episode of Cool Radio for the Throwback Thursday edition. So with that being said, I feel like we should take it all the way back, not all the way back, but a little far back to 2010 when a known artist by the name of Kanye West came out with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I think we should come out with this one right here. This track features Jay-Z, Rick Ross, and Nicki Minaj. I'm talking about Monster, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into that right now. Holy on Cool Radio. We'll be right back with the ranks of the week right after this. Keep it locked. You already know. Yeah.
It's your man, Chris Gotrock.
What's up, my family? It's Maliki and Sweet Senorita.
It's your boy, Dirty German. This is All Meals from the Critics. I just finished my interview at Cool Radio, and I'm just letting you guys know that you guys need to tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. because this place is wild.
Of course! Don't touch that dial.
You miss your diss. You understand? Relax.
Yes, yo. Welcome back. You're not tuned to CFRE 91.9 FM. It's your man, GM Cool. You're now tuned into Cool Radio. I still got my main man, Jordan Ray, in the building. And he brought his La Familia in the building as well, too. You already know. We're rolling deep in the booth right now. And as you already know, it's that time of the show where we like to roast the ones who do the most stupidest things in the world of hip-hop and pop culture as a whole. I'm talking about Wankster of the Week, so let's drop it on them real quick.
Said you a wankster, and you need to stop fronting.
Now, Wankster of the Week. Oh, man, this one's a double take, actually. We got a double Wankster of the Week. I call this a tag team Wankster of the Week, so to speak. This one goes to none other than troubled comedian Cat Williams and troubled all-around person Suge Knight. All right? Double dose, people. Double dose. Now, these gentlemen are getting the Wankster of the Week, co-Wankster of the Week, if you will, because of the fact that they attempted to steal a photographer's camera. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, it must have been like a real famous photographer, or it must have been like a gold Nikon camera or something like that. No, there's just some regular ass camera, and it was just some regular independent photographer. Now, here's the thing right here. A press release was released and stating that, quote unquote, the two men are suspected of stealing the camera of an independent on September 5th outside a studio in Beverly Hills. Now, because of the arrest, Cat Williams is facing 7 years in custody. Yes. Meanwhile, Suge Knight is facing 30 years to life in a state prison.
For stealing a camera.
Yes. And I think that all stems from the fact that they have prior charges to them. Yeah. They got arrested for a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, it's bad enough.
30 to life for
Knight, yeah. What? I mean, the man killed Tupac, so he might as well be thrown into life, right? Now, let's get into this right now, man. Suge Knight, you are like 40-something years old, and you're pretending like it's 1993 when you were once relevant.
Yeah.
Why are you still acting like that? You got shot at Chris Brown's after party, which you probably shouldn't have been at either, because, again, you are a grown-ass man in a 20 to 25-something club.
How old is he now?
Oh, he's got to be like 40-something, because I know Dr. Dre is like 48, so he's got to be within that range, like mid to late 40s, I would say. He doesn't look like he's changed. He's had the same bald head and double chin for years.
He's trying to stay relevant.
Looking like a gangster Uncle Phil, God rest his soul. But nonetheless, there's no reason why you should be out here thugging at 48. Why are you thugging at 48? You have a pension plan to look after. You have some sort of fiscal plan to look after. Do you have kids? If you do, I'm sure you should be looking after them with your death row royalty checks. Sure. But no, you're out here thugging. And Cat Williams, you're one of my favorite comedians.
He's a funny guy.
Nice. From the early moments of My Wife and Kids, to his awesome debut on Friday After Next, to his show-stealing performances at Wild 'N Out, and even his independent comedy shows that he's done.
Film Chronicles and all that.
Exactly. This man hasn't been relevant since Poor Little Tink Tink. Poor Little Tink Tink. And you are aiding one irrelevant man in Suge Knight for stealing a camera?
I think it's just funny how like they both can kind of like did it together. Like
like Pinky in the Brain or something like that. Whichever one's Pinky and whichever one's Brain can be decided by the fans. But the point is, why are you guys stealing cameras? Why? I'm sorry, man. I have nothing else further to say other than these guys are the biggest wanksters of the week and quite possibly the biggest wanksters of the year, because for a camera that they easily could have paid for by pawning one of their rings.
Was the photographer like taking pictures of was it like a Kanye thing where like
it could have been.
Kanye's getting
it could have been, but nonetheless, them knowing that they had prior charges to them already.
Yeah, they slipped.
They slipped heavily. They slipped like that guy who was singing the national anthem at the hockey game who slipped over the red carpet. That's how bad it was. But nonetheless, they're getting the wankster of the week. Do they deserve this wankster? Hell yeah, they do. Yeah. So with that being said, I'm about to drop that dub on them one more time like this.
You a wankster, and you need to stop fronting.
Stupidity. This is what happens when you have money and you don't know what to do with it, and you're trying to chase relevancy. I am surprised as to why they are not on Love and Hip Hop yet. They should be. Idiots. What do you guys have to say about this real quick?
Honestly, I just think it's funny. Like stupidly funny.
Yes.
Because it's funny how they both kind of like
converged.
Like they converged and like stole this camera together.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a camera maximum worth like $1,000. They both got more money than that. So what are they doing with their life?
Absolutely.
And yeah, the fact that they got like prior charges and shit like that, like
Exactly. And Cat Williams been messing up for years, boy.
Oh, man.
Messing up for years.
Poor
You
little
can go-
Tink.
TMZ has got Cat Williams' ass all over. I mean, like, he's been slapping up Target employees. He's been, like, fighting.
Like, why? Why?
Like, the respect for Cat Williams has been so low.
I liked him. Like
he
when
was
he
great,
his
man.
stand up was dirty. Like
Yeah.
it was
There-
funny
there's
shit.
something about him, like, he started getting, like, mentally insane a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, if you see him on
Yeah.
recent shows and he would be out just slandering and just, you know, the comedy's not there anymore with Cat Williams. I don't know where he's at in his life. He needs help. You know, if you're out there slapping Target employees.
He needs Jesus.
He was slandering, you know, a bunch of pop culture, and he's just one of those guys that really is.
It's a cry for help,
It's
really.
a cry for help.
Struggle
you know?
to stay relevant.
Yeah, I remember the time he threatened to retire. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna retire," and he's still doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
He's still in movies that are not popping. He's
Straight to DVD.
yeah, straight to DVDs. Nothing's happening. And you know, we all know what the deal is with Suge Knight anyway, man. Like that guy deserves to be back locked up.
Exactly.
So.
Cocaine's one hell of a drug. Anyways, Jordan, before we go, what do you got coming up real quick?
All right, so I got this album that I'm working on. It's called The Blackout, and it's gonna come out probably spring next year.
Word.
And yeah, we're not setting an actual release date yet, just because we're still in the process of setting everything up, right?
Yeah.
But it's gonna be dark. It's gonna be bangers. It's gonna be storytelling, going from one part of me to kind of like a stage of enlightenment in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when can we expect that roughly? Do you have a due date on it yet or not yet?
I'm aiming for spring 2015.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, I'm trying like February, March, but we'll see.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, through the whole of the summer, we've been talking. We've had a good progress with him. His last project had potential, and we could see it in him. So we're gonna take this to a whole nother level, and you know, we want to give the fans what they want. We want to give people what they want, and I think we want to be more involved in the sick sound. You know, that's what we're saying. Coming from Saga, we want to represent.
Kind of like that. It's like ambient, but ambient bangers, ambient storytelling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, you already know that you are welcome to come through anytime through the halls of Cool Radio.
I love it here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a great pleasure.
Hey, pleasure to have y'all, man. Jordan Ray, thank you very much for coming through. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all can follow this talented young gentleman at Jordan Ray Music on Instagram and Twitter as well, too. And you can follow yours truly at DM_cool and also on Instagram at Cool for Thought if you want. And also you can follow the show at Cool_radio and let me know what y'all want to hear going forward, all right? Because I always like to hear what people got to say. And, you know, I'm a man of the people. You guys already know how I roll, how I operate. I'm a man of the people.
You can follow me too, by the way.
Exactly. You follow the man.
At Zane's Conscience.
He has an English accent.
Hit me up.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we got to go. I want to wish y'all a happy Halloween. Stay safe, party hard, and don't dress up like Ray Rice. Once again, it's your man, DM Cool.
Let's get it.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it gravy and wavy. We out of here. Peace.